Whenever you see somebody talk about the worlds in Miitopia, either ranking them or talking about them normally, Realm of the Fae almost never gets brought up. In ranking videos, it almost always places right before the really good worlds. Pretty much everyone agrees that Realm of the Fae is a good world with good visuals, but never ever go beyond that. So let's do that. Let's go somewhat relatively more in depth while talking about Realm of the Fae. So Realm of the Fae is the third world in Miitopia, placed between Neksdor and Carcaton. This world, while to most among the best in the game, never quite up there. This is mainly because one simply cannot compare to Carcaton and the Skyscraper, even though the latter is lesser than the former when talking about purely those two worlds. You begin Realm of the Fae by having your next door job and teammates taken away, because the Dark Lord felt like doing that to you. On the bright side, you get 3 new jobs to choose from, these 3 jobs being Princess, Tank, and Flower. I feel like, since Realm of the Fae's theme is being sort of a magical elf village, having Tank and Flower as part of the job lineup really adds to the fact that nothing here is like normal. Another theme most of the world has is being shrunken down. The environments in the main area are big blades of grass, and in the elf village we see mushrooms. Actually, while we're at theming, Big G Forest, due to everyone theoretically being shrunken down, could just be a bush that the main party and Fab Fairies enter. The aspects that do sort of break this illusion are Citrus Cave, Lotus Lake, and the tomatoes. Tomatoes aren't smaller than blades of grass, and the 2 sub-areas, I'll call them, don't make sense as shrunken down real-world objects. I guess you could make a point that Citrus Cave is a rock that somebody dropped an orange onto that started to leak juice everywhere, but then again, Citrus Cave is filled with oranges everywhere, not just one, so the whole shrunken down aspect kinda falls flat. So the theming is sort of all over the place, but that's in a way a good thing. Because of the fact that everything is so different from everything else, this makes Realm of the Fae the most diverse and inconsistent themed world in the game. Neksdor and Greenhorn all had locations at times to the main theme of the kingdom, respectively desert, but Realm of the Fae is all over the place with everything, including my next talking point, visuals. Realm of the Fae's visuals are the second best in the game. The world with the best visuals is very obviously the Skyscraper. Either way, the previously mentioned theme-breaking locations, Citrus Cave and Lotus Lake, are by far some of the most beautiful places in Miitopia behind the Skyscraper, only being rivaled by the Grotto and main area of Galados Isle. My point being, this world has awesome visuals even in the non-special areas. Realm of the Fae's music is awesome. There's absolutely no question on it. The music in this world is awesome by every metric. The closest any world gets to this level is New Lumos, and even that has one blemish, the title theme. There isn't anything more to say about here. The music is just astoundingly good. While not as great as Greenhorn and Carcaton, Realm of the Fae's plot is the third best in the game. Once again, one simply cannot compare to Carcaton, and in this case Greenhorn. The main plot of Realm of the Fae starts once you enter the Elf Village and meet the youngest Fab Fairy, who is in a massive panic because her sisters were taken away by the Dark Lord. So you team up with her on a quest to find the other sisters. This is a pretty genius way to introduce additional allies and puts the Traveler's Hub to shame once again. I swear, how does the Traveler's Hub fail at literally everything besides feeling long and drawn out? Anyway, you find the middle sister in Citrus Cave, from where the youngest sister leaves you, and you, along with the middle sister, go find the big sister in Big G Forest, from where the 3 sisters do a little dance. The youngest, along with the entire village, get its face erased, so you, along with the eldest sister, save everyone. Once you've done that, the 3 sisters, along with your team, do a little dance, and then you leave. Having this right after Neksdor really makes this plot look a lot better than it actually is, but for what it is, it introduces additional allies in the best way it could without actively telling you how they work. Still better than the Skyscraper's plot, which is literally all tied to one line of dialogue. The bosses of Realm of the Fae are actually really good. Some of them. The Tomato Burrows are a really cool concept for a boss, and the execution is really good too. I do wish the team members that hated tomatoes were randomized, so it's not always the second and fourth, but meh. The frog, while really ugly, is a unique idea for a final boss of a world, and it stacks up to the Pharaoh in general. It comes nowhere near the topping the Dark Lord and Darker Lord, but once again, one simply can't compete with the best. The spider is a neat idea for a boss too, with a really cool status effect. All the other bosses blow ass in comparison to these 3. The butterfly and slime are basically just buffed versions of the butterfly and slime bosses from Greenhorn, and are overall very unoriginal, and the owl would be neat if it had any semblance of being an actual boss. This thing is so pathetically easy to beat that every time, and the status effect that it has that's unique to only it, is boring and uninteresting. These 2 things basically downgrade the owl to just a normal enemy that somehow got the eldest Fab Fairy's face attached to get by pure chance. Overall, Realm of the Fae has pretty good boss selection, with 3 standouts, 2 just being buffed versions of earlier bosses, and 1 being shitty in absolutely every aspect. In conclusion, it's pretty easily noticeable why Realm of the Fae never quite reaches the highs of other worlds like Carcaton, the Skyscraper, and New Lumos. All aspects besides visuals and music, while above average, nothing great either. The visuals and music carry this world hard, with being both fantastic, but the boss selection being decent to pretty good, and the blood being slightly above good, hinder it quite a lot when compared to other worlds. A world like New Lumos, which doesn't have to worry about plot because it's post-game, beats it out in this aspect because it also has fantastic visuals and music, with the added benefit of no plot to worry about being good because there isn't a need for any. Realm of the Fae, while a great world, isn't a fantastic world. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.